Hi, everyone. Welcome to our broadcast. I'm your host, Christina Dwitowitz. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the University of Providence. Now, as a reminder, the information provided during this event is for information purposes only. And for any medical questions, please reach out to your primary care or healthcare professional. Now, let's get that event is Dr. Mary Amick. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Indeed.
Associate Professor at the University of Providence. And then we have Program Director, Dr. Deanna Melton-Riddle. Thank you for being here. And then we also have Professor Tracy Rooks. She's our Program Coordinator for the Health Justice Certificate Program. And then we also have a University of Providence student, Caroline Coraggio.
Hello.
And we also have UP's Provost and VP for Academic Affairs here, Matt Redinger. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. I just want to take just a brief moment and welcome you all to this great event. We're very, very proud of our health administration programs, and we think you will be too. So welcome to the University of Providence community, and I hope you find something that you're looking for here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. So right now, I'm going to get started with some of our questions here. This is the Healthcare Admin 101 session. So if you have any questions about that while you're watching this, please feel free to type your questions in and we can get some of those answered. So Professor Amick, can you give us some information, some background on UP and some of the programs that we offer for healthcare administration?
Indeed. The University of Providence is a private Roman Catholic liberal arts university started in 1932 by the Sisters of Providence. However, it has a long history, and that is in the 1800s, a group of Providence sisters came to the Northwest when it was still Montana Territory and started education and healthcare for people who lived up here who were not having good health outcomes or enough education to really make a living. And it started as a teacher's college and a nursing college. And then, as I said, morphed into the 1932 opening of the liberal arts school. The liberal arts and sciences program is a traditional on-campus residential program, and the School of Health Professions is an solely online program, and has a myriad of degrees. There are certificates, there's an associate's degree in healthcare administration, a bachelor's degree in healthcare administration, and I think Dr. I'm sorry, Nelson Riddle. I wanted to call you your first name, Deanna. And she will talk a little bit about the master's in healthcare administration. We are really a school that is following the beliefs and values of the sisters and looking out for those who are poor, and as their mission and our mission states, the University of Providence provides students with the opportunity to obtain a liberal education for living and for making a living. Thank you.
Almost forgot to unmute myself there. So thank you for discussing that. And Dr. Melton-Riddle, would you like to just touch on the master's program real quick?
Thank you so much. As Dr. Amick stated, the master's program has a lot of layers to it and is basically really experienced off into
Is Dr. Melton Riddle frozen for everyone or just me? Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will come back to her. Professor Rooks, are you able to touch on some of the certificate programs that we offer?
Sure thing. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you all so much. So we offer 2 graduate level certificate programs. One of them is the Community Health Investment, and that is headed by Dora Barilla, Dr. Dora Barilla, actually. I know I try and remember everyone's official titles too. And then the second one is the Health Justice Certificate. Both certificates really focus on using informatics, getting data to improve community health outcomes. What happens with the Health Justice Certificate is we take a little bit more narrow scope, and we're looking at medical legal interventions that can help improve the health of individuals and communities. So at the heart of medical legal partnerships, we're looking at solving medical problems that have a legal cause. And that's sometimes a little hard to wrap your head around. So one of the most common examples that I use is think about a child with asthma living in a substandard housing arrangement, like an apartment that has the walls are falling down, might have lead paint, rodent infestation, and that is constantly kicking off the kids' asthma, and they're coming to the emergency department over and over and over again. So doctors can only treat, the acute medical symptoms that are in front of them, but it takes a lawyer to step in and work with that landlord, perhaps exert a little pressure on the landlord to bring that housing situation up to code and make it safe so that we then solve that medical problem by using a legal avenue. So that's just one of many, many examples that we take a look at in the Health Justice Certificate. I can go more, or if we're just doing a kind of touching on all the programs, we can come back to that a little later. What would you like, Christina?
No, I think that's good. I think that I want to get to Caroline real quick and kind of get her thoughts on some of this too, and then we can, we'll kind of jump everywhere. Caroline, do you think you can tell us about why you decided why you chose UP, and what your favorite thing about the BSHA program, what your favorite thing about it is?
Sure. Thank you for having me. So basically, I work for Mission Hospital, which is part of the Providence health system. And when I started there, I had my associate's degree in healthcare administration. So I was really excited to learn that I could complete my education and continue on and receive a bachelor's in that same field through a college that was directly related to my work and who I worked for. So that was huge to me, just to keep the values that we have through Providence. So that was important. Also, the content is so relatable. Everything that I've learned in the courses so far, it's real time. I can use it at work the next day. It helps me with just learning through the other students, the live collaborative sessions. I really enjoy. The professors have been very helpful and engaging. I also needed, another reason I chose it, I needed, like a lot of students, I work full time. So I needed something that was flexible. And the 8-week courses really appealed to me because I felt like that was going to be realistic to finish. And obviously I live in California, I don't live in Montana. So the online option is very important because that's a pretty long commute. So the other thing why I chose Providence, there's a tuition reimbursement, and that is just a bonus, to be honest. So I love the program. Everything is helping me, but the tuition reimbursement is helping. The other thing that I really like in talking to the other students and the collaborative and learning, a lot of the other students also work for Providence. So we all come from the same culture and kind of face the same challenges. And it's really nice to talk to them and feel like we're a big family. The online collaborative really helps since we can't be in person. So it's nice to get to know people on a more personal level.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. Dr. Amick, can you explain a little bit about the student-professor dynamic? How is that? And I know Caroline just talked about some of the classes being offered online and on campus. I want to talk about that relationship you guys have with the students.
The first dynamic I think that's really important is that we're a small enough school that professors and students get to know one another on a level that is very beneficial for both. We have such good support systems here that if a professor feels like a student is not doing as well as they had in the past, we with the student and support services can talk together and really find a best plan for that student. So just being small enough to get to know one another is really, really important. And professors are better able to see the talents of the individual students and work with them to bolster some of the things that they may not be doing quite as well. I think the second dynamic is the one that Caroline mentioned, and that is we try as hard as we can to have face-to-face time with our students through the collaborative sessions. Through announcements, through recorded sessions. We will record a live session in case the student can't be there for the live session and they can see it better. But anytime there's face-to-face time, we build that relationship, that dynamic. And I think our classes are personal because the way we have developed the syllabi, and we follow Quality Matters, which helps us design the best student professor interaction. And so students know exactly what they're going to do from one class to another as far as the setup of the class. So it takes away some of that anxiety. And there are just so many supportive relationships that happen that research shows really help students engage in learning activities and progress in their academic achievement.
Thank you for that. Now, I do want to ask for someone who might be watching this later and they're interested in going into healthcare admin, but they need to decide, well, do I start with the associates? Can I go straight into the bachelor's? Should I go and move forward and go ahead and get that master's? And I'm sure for everyone, the answer may be different, but how can students decide, like, all right, do I continue on? What is the right path for me? Anyone who wants to answer that.
Okay. Well, I think I'll begin. Others may want to chime in, but certainly it depends on where they are in their career. Most certainly, for an individual who may be at the introductory level in their career, but maybe just needs that extra level of degree in order to maybe go for a promotion. If they don't have their bachelor's degree, then that certainly would be the place where they would need to start. At the bachelor's level. For those individuals who have their bachelor's and still want to take it to the next level in terms of developing more as a leader and pursuing more leadership opportunities within their organization, and certainly that master's level degree is where they would begin. And so if an individual has their master's degree and they yet are looking to add another layer, as Professor Rooks mentioned, then the certificates would be the direction to go in. And then if you want to progress back a little bit further, for an individual who may be considered, may have been in the field, but they have no degree, then certainly that associate's level is where they would begin. And then if they want to pursue others later, they would be able to work their way up.
Absolutely. I think Dr. Melton Riddle just hit the nail on the head that if you already have your master's degree, yeah, the certificates are great. Or if you have your bachelor's and you're planning on going into a master's, we also accept students into the certificate program who have finished a bachelor's and are planning to go on for a master's. So, and just to take a quick step back about the difference between a degree versus a certificate, degrees give you that broad foundation of knowledge to get into the field, and then the certificates give you more of that more narrow scope, more development of the skills once you're already in the field, so that, like Dr. Melton Riddle mentioned, if you want to go for a promotion, if you want to show your employer that you've developed this special skill set and you have a deeper knowledge, then you can show that off with a certificate.
I would also add, I'll go back even further to the associate's degree. And if somebody's been out of school for a very long time and is a little nervous about taking on a bachelor's degree, the associate's degree is a wonderful place to start. And it is just a pathway to the bachelor's degree. The 60 credits of the associate's degree can then be applied to a bachelor's degree. And so it's a pathway for people who would like to start a little slower and see if they like where they're going.
Perfect. Thank you all. And then, Caroline, I do want to ask you, I know everything was online for you. And so I just want to give you an opportunity to say if there was anything else you wanted to add about your experience. And I know Dr. Amick talked about that community aspect, building that community with their online students. Were you able to feel that connection with the professors while you were doing school online?
Absolutely. I felt the connection with the professors, with the other students. And to be honest, it helped me at work build more connections there, because some of our assignments, we were able to talk to our colleagues at work, and it helped me build relationships there. So definitely all around, it's very important, I feel, and it keeps that connection, especially in the day and age that we are and everything's online and it's hard to get that personal touch. Dr. Amick and the other professors were always willing and able to have a personal one-on-one session, or set up a Teams call, or a meeting, or just emails back and forth. So they were always there to make it more personal. Thank you. And actually personal, besides work and school, and just ask about personal life things as well.
Perfect. And then if anyone is interested in applying to the program, what are the steps for them that they should take? After watching this, they're interested, they want to sign up. How should they do that?
Well, the first thing they can do is go to the University of Providence's website, www.uprovidence.edu. And if they follow the web page on the left, they'll see a number of different options. They would be able to go to the academics link. And then from the academics link, they would see other options. They should go to the online programs. And there they'd be able to see the variety of online programs that are offered under healthcare administration at the associates, the bachelor's, and the master's level, as well as the MHA certificates. And the good thing about going, there's several different ways you can reach the information, but the reason that I mentioned this particular route is because it gives the individuals an opportunity to look through each program, see the course descriptions, understand the mission, the visions of each program, and see what each has to offer. And this helps them to make an even better informed decision in terms of which program is right for them. And then at the very bottom of the screen, there's an option that guides you on how to apply for either the undergraduate or apply for the graduate program. And once they click on that link, it's a step-by-step process that guides them on how to. There are also some phone numbers that are listed for contact. in terms of if they have any questions or need a little bit more guidance as they go through the application process.
Thank you. Now, I do have a question that popped up. Dr. Melton Riddle, I think I can direct this towards you. So what happens for those students who have a bachelor's degree somewhere else and they are working on their master's? For example, if they have a bachelor's degree through a different organization of the school.
If I'm understanding correctly, their bachelor's degree is not in healthcare administration, but they decided they wanted to pursue the healthcare administration track for a master's degree. Am I understanding correctly?
I believe so. It doesn't specify.
Okay. I'm going to assume if that is the case, and you already have your bachelor's degree, but you would still be able to apply, go through the application process, and then you could certainly speak to someone in terms of going through your transcripts, seeing what courses would be transferable. Based upon whatever you have your bachelor's degree, and then you would certainly be able to look at your options in terms of being able to pursue that master's degree track. So I would definitely say you can call and speak to someone in admissions, and they will be able to help further guide you through that process.
Perfect. And oh yes, go on, Dr. Amick. You're still muted, actually.
The same is true with the other degrees, that there are potentially transferable credits, even into from a certificate into the associates, and then if you have an associate's into the bachelor's. I believe that Caroline, you came in with an associate's and some of your classes transferred. So
yes, and it was from another school. That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Across the board, we can look at transferable classes.
Perfect. I don't see any other questions popping up, but I do want to give you guys the opportunity if there's anything else you all want to mention, maybe even tips for people who are interested in applying, anything of that sort for anyone.
I just wanted to add just a few more points. Unfortunately, since I got cut off in the beginning, Caroline and Dr. Amick and Professor Rooks really pointed to some great points, but I just want to reiterate, by our programs being online, they really are designed for the working professionals. They were formed and vetted by Providence executives within the Providence healthcare system. And the faculty are working professionals in the field, so they bring a level of knowledge and expertise, which really adds and creates value for all the programs across healthcare administration, as well as the certificates. And I believe that students, and Caroline really spoke to and served as a testimony to the fact that students really get an extra value added, enriching learning experience from that aspect.
Perfect. Anyone want to add anything else, or all good?
Hi, it's Caroline. I would absolutely agree with Dr. Melton Riddle. Thank you. It's definitely so much, like I said earlier, like real life work experience. I can use it every day. It doesn't feel like school. It feels like part of work, which is great because it transfers over. So I would just like to say I couldn't be happier with this program. I would encourage anybody to just not be scared and do it. I was petrified, and it's been a pleasure. I started school a few years late, so I'm finally finishing up, and it's definitely has helped me along the way already. So I would just encourage others to not be afraid and just jump in.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, you all heard it. Take that step for yourself. So I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for listening and for sending in your questions. And if you want to learn more about our initiatives, programs, services, ways to give, or if you're looking for medical care, you can visit providence.org. And for our UP programs, you can also visit uprovidence.edu. And make sure to follow us on social media at Providence Health System for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and under Providence on Twitter. And you can also follow the University of Providence on our social media channels as well. Thank you guys so much. We will post this as a recording later on our social media channels as well. So thank you all.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.